I have stopped and started recording. This is, I think, number 4, maybe number 5 time. I always get real nervous when it comes to sharing my experiences with healing. You know, there's many different forms of healing. It comes in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. There's so many forms of actually healing things that need to be healed. It could be traumas, it could be relationships, grieving over the death of loved ones, character defects that we need to change, what have you. There's so many different ways of healing. And one thing that I know I am trying really hard to push through with my fears, any fears that I have of judgment, any fears that I have of ridicule, because that's something that's happened my whole entire life. People don't agree with my beliefs. They don't believe with how I practice things spiritually. They don't get me. Now, this isn't everybody because I'm getting ready to flip the script here. I know that one of my purposes is to learn a lot of lessons in love, real hard lessons in love. And I'm not talking about just romantic relationships. I'm talking about with family members, with love for self, love for everybody else. And I know that I'm meant to use my lessons to help other people. I know that when I share my stories with others, that regardless of how vulnerable I have to be to tell that story or how embarrassed I may get to tell that story, I have to have faith and trust that it's going to help somebody, and it always does. And I know that because I get comments, I get people text messaging me, I get emails, I get people in a 12-step program that I am a member of that will come up and tell me after meetings how inspiring I am, how, I help them instantly to get through something, whatever it may be, right? So I'm always challenged by my ego. That's one part of healing that I'm going through right now. The ego is just another video in itself, but, it could be so challenging anyway, feeding you a bunch of fears so that you don't move forward in life. But it also helps us to enjoy things. So, we have to have that balance, I guess. But anyway, let's get to the story. So, the many aspects of my life that's being challenged at this time or healed at this time or whatever you all want to choose to call it. I'm just sharing this story because I want to explain to you guys what it's like to actually do healing, to ascend to higher states of awareness and higher states of consciousness, and how that stuff happens, how it evolves, how it whatever. I'm still healing the wreckage of my past. 12 years after starting to go to a 12-step program, going to drug rehab, losing a couple of my kids in a couple different ways, all the way up to present day. I'm living a pretty good life. I'm really happy. I have a lot of peace in my life. But what it's taken to get there is what's affecting my life today. So I'm constantly healing different aspects of myself. Character defects. I have a lot of anger. I've always been somebody who yells, things of that sort. Instead of always listening to what people have to say, I would cut them off. And, because I was had so much trauma bottled up. I had so many different things that happened throughout my life bottled up, relationships, losing my children, what have you. And it's been in constant healing motion for about 12 years. Okay. And I feel like I'm all over the place, but there's a point to this. One of the daughters that I lost is currently coming back into my custody. A lot of prayers, a lot of healing, a lot of having to accepting myself, and starting to love myself again, having to go through fears, doubts, feelings of embarrassment, guilt, shame, worthlessness. things of that sort, to now having her in my life, having a great relationship with her thus far. Very blessed, very, very blessed. Okay. Another child who wants nothing to do with me, doesn't like the idea of my daughter coming here. I'm not going to get into details with that, but challenged in that way, which had triggered me to have to take a look at things that was unhealed with my own mother. I see a mirror of myself in my daughter, and my daughter in myself. The same exact story. How I hated my mom, or disliked her very, very much for many, many years, for all of the abuse, all of that. I carried some of that abuse and stuff over to my child, the one that doesn't want anything to do with me. And, this is where I'm being vulnerable, because these are things that I used to not be able to accept. These are things that kept me down in a place of guilt, shame, what have you. Okay. I'm okay with myself now. I have went through times of taking a look at things through meditation, God, the angels, the universe, my higher self, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Something higher than me, something bigger than me. I choose to call it Source God, because Source is everything to me. Would show me through these meditations different aspects that I needed to heal. I'd have to purge emotionally. I'd go through physical body pain. Sometimes I'd actually throw up. But I healed a lot of those things. I got to a place of accepting me for me. I had to do that to be able to heal, to move forward in my life. You can never really fully move forward in your life unless you're facing things head on. And I did that. So, I've got that. And then I've got, like I said, love is one of the things that I've had to endure a lot of issues with. And one of the things that I did is repeat the same thing that my mom did. I've had several partners in my life, whether it be a taught behavior or because I had a lot of lessons to learn, which it doesn't matter. I've had several relationships, and I'm the type of person that loves with all her heart. And I will stay to the last flipping moment where it's the worst it could possibly be. Endure a lot of harm to my emotions, endure a lot of harm to my mental health, things of that sort. So I'm currently in the process of letting go of things that had happened with my daughter that's moving back in with me. The one that was adopted, she's coming back into my life. Her and her father, when we separated, I was so in love with him. He was my very best friend. And, I had a lot of resentments towards him for leaving the way that he did. And I'm not going to share this story. It doesn't matter. That's been healed. But there was aspects that I didn't realize that weren't healed. And I'm now healing those things and having to take a look at that. And I'm starting to feel a sense of him being my best friend again. I love his wife. Me and his wife are cool. We've always been cool. That's a whole nother story. But I'm blessed, so blessed in that area. Okay. But also, I've got somebody that just left me, walked out of this relationship. You guys know a lot of that story. I am not going to mention any names. I'm not going to tell any more about it. It doesn't matter. But I've went through different stages of grieving over him leaving. And not just that, but there's different aspects of, him leaving that really has nothing to do with him. I know that was destined. I know that it was something that was supposed to happen to trigger both of us. We were triggers for each other, to trigger both of us, to heal, have this domino effect of all of these other things that I'm sharing with you. Okay. This person that I'm talking about, I love him dearly. I think that I will always have the deepest, deepest, deepest connection of any relationship that I've ever had with him. He's very special to me. I say this because he's triggered so much healing in me that I didn't know that needed to be done. But it's all at the perfect time. My daughter coming back into my life. My other daughter having to heal things about herself, what have you. But to get back to the whole relationship things, it comes in so many different ways. The person that left me 6 months ago, I've went through different stages of grieving over him leaving, of questioning the universe, of continuing to stay faithful. And even though I believe that he was going to come back, I also knew through spirit, through these knowings, these just deep inner knowings, that he would choose to not come back. So that's a whole nother thing. I'm having to go through a switch in timelines that's creating more healing in my life. It's just like this chain reaction. Okay. So fast forward to yesterday. I had a message on my Facebook Messenger that I didn't open because I didn't know who it was. And I finally opened it today, and it was a boyfriend from my past, somebody who I absolutely adored, loved. I mean, I was super, super in love with this guy. He is definitely a huge part of my story and my past. And, before my drug life, before things got out of hand, I still had my kids and all that. This person was in my life. 11/11, guys. We were best of friends. We hardly ever had arguments or anything like that. It was just really, really good. Dude cheated on me. I only took so much of it before finally I just walked away and, never looked back. Had my heart completely broken. I moved on instantly to my daughter, who's now coming back into my life. Moved on to her father, and that's how she was born. That's how she came about. He also is my best friend. I'm a Scorpio, or maybe it's just in my genetics or what have you. I love people so much, and I see the best qualities in people, and what have you. But anyway, to get back to the point, I think I'm trying to get back to the point. There's just so many different aspects of healing happening in my life at this time. My back. Let's just mention my back. It's been out since last Monday. I know exactly when it happened at work. It didn't hurt me until later on that night. Past back surgery. It was doing good for years. I had it healed completely through meditation and certain things that Spirit was telling me to do. I was, healing things the way that I was supposed to, right? I started getting in tune with God, with the whole back thing. Well, I heard it doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. And this is like a consequence from it. However, I also know the lesson out of it is Spirit has been telling me for months and months and months. It feels like it's probably, I shouldn't have, quick movement is not good. I'm actually starting to get tired of standing, but I got to get this video over with because Spirit told me to do this as well. But, back to having this back problem and Spirit telling me over and over and over again that I need to go full time with my business, with YouTube, with my social media and stuff like that. Sharing my stories, showing people real healing, doing live videos where I'm healing different aspects of people's lives. Also, I have a way of awakening people to higher states of consciousness that triggers a healing journey. And as they start this healing journey, it gets them into this closer contact with Spirit, with God, with Source, with love, with everything, the universe. And it's just an amazing journey. And I've been having to push through these fears and stuff. So I'm healing that as well. But I feel like I'm all over the place. I don't even know exactly what I'm trying to get at. Other than the fact is, stay present in the moment. Allow you to be present in whatever is happening in your life. Be calm, be collective, allow stuff to just transform in front of you. As long as you are aware and being a participant in what Spirit, your intuition, those inner knowings, whatever is telling you, you'll always be navigated through whatever it is. You'll always get back to what is divinely ordered for you. You'll know because it feels good. It's peaceful. It's, Even though you're going through all these challenges of healing 5 different aspects like I am hit with all at one time, I'm still so blessed. I am still seeing miracles in my life every single day. I am happy. My mind is at peace. Despite what anybody may think, despite whatever, I'm at peace. And it is such a great thing to be at this space where you can go from feeling like a worthless piece of shit, the worst mother in the world, just a drug addict, somebody who's so angry, whatever it was, mental. That's a good one, because that's, a lot of my issues was mental health, and people really didn't know how to handle me. However, healing all those things and continuously, because it's a continuous process until it's done. If it's ever done, I don't know if it'll ever be done. There might always be something that triggers something to heal something, to learn the lesson, because it's all about coming here to learn lessons, right? Anyway, just keep going, keep pushing through. I can tell you guys that right now, many of us, most of my clients, most of the people that message me have been telling me they're going through very, very similar things in their life right now. And life was like real quiet. Even though some of these things were going on in my life, it was real quiet, and it didn't feel as if I had this tug and pull from the universe. But now my healing journey has moved to this tug and pull. There's no roller coaster, no ups and downs and feeling like my head's all over the place, no depression or anything like that. It's more of like I'm on the uphill climb, right? Things are getting real good, but the universe is tugging and pulling me and just rearranging me to be exactly where I need to be. Those timelines are shifting for me, and I'm starting to have to adjust, and it's daily adjustment. It's not just adjustment from, week to week or, what have you. Sometimes it's moment to moment adjusting so that I'm not overthinking, so I'm not fearing, so I'm not up in my head or what have you. And I can actually say by constantly doing that, I have peace of mind. My mind is very clear right now, almost too clear, because I feel like I've jumped all over around in this video, but I know I do that a lot. I am a fast talker. I am somebody who has a million things that does go on in their head as Spirit is telling me what to say. I miss half of the message, guys. I do. It's just, it comes to me 5:43 as I'm looking at the clock. But anyway, I need to get off my feet. I am now getting to where I'm starting to stiffen up. But anyway, hopefully you guys got something out of this video. I hope that you guys are sticking and staying, for better lack of words, processing what's going on, and, trying your best to be that alchemist and change things around to where you can be peaceful like I feel. Even healing some major things out of your life and trying to figure out the confusion and using your gift of discernment to discern why all of a sudden this or that. When all along the messages are right in front of you. There's synchronicities, there's signs, there's omens. There's visuals that will come into your head. There might be names that are called out loud or faces that you see of people, and then all of a sudden they're in your life again to help you to heal something that you had no idea needed to be healed, so that you can move on up, ascend to that next level in your life. And most of you are probably hit with a major awakening right now, healing many different aspects of your life, but hopefully you guys are in a state of peace and calmness like I am as well, and just riding the wave, guys, going with the flow, being present in the emotions that you're feeling, whatever they are. But much love to you guys. Bye.